Hello everyone. Today I pose a question about the difference or sameness between the two words, leadership and management. And some of you have responded, and thank you, all of you who managed to respond. And now I would like to give you my opinion and perspective on this topic. And I'm going to start as follows. First of all, I will discuss the sameness, how these two words are related to each other, and then later I will discuss on the difference. So, starting with the sameness, leadership and management, they are not skills. I repeat again, leadership and management, they are not skills for me. These are character elements. And wait a minute, what is a character? And what is a skill? And how are these two things related? I think we're going to have to make this a question and a topic for another day to discuss. But let me continue. So, just like any other character element, leadership and management are guided by three things, or five if you would like to call it. Number one is the vision of that person in question. But number two is on the personal beliefs and values. And number three is for the responsibility and accountability status. I would call these three things the fundamentals for easy reference later. So that's how I think the leadership and management are related to each other. But now let's go to see the difference. What's the difference between these two terms? Let's start with the leadership. Leadership is for the people. You lead people starting with you. One time I was listening to the speech by Leslie Brown, and in one point I heard him saying something like, you have to lead a life of courage. You have to lead a life of hope. You have to lead a life of health. And I was like, lead a life? Did he really mean to say lead a life? Is it not supposed to be live a life? And after investigating for a while, I came to realize that he really meant what he said. And there is a difference. To live a life, actually, it gives you freedom. You can let things happen to your life. You're like whatever, and you just don't care. All you can do is to complain about it, perhaps. But when you lead a life, that means you are taking charge of your life. You don't control things which happens to you, but rather you take charge of your life and manage what happens with your life. And that would include making goals, would include, being disciplined, be persistent, and all sorts of stuff like that. That is how you lead a life, and that's how it starts with you. So, in giving the definition of the term leadership, I would say leadership is a tendency to be initiative and independent in executing a particular task which is connected to the fundamentals that I just mentioned before. And on top of that, leadership also includes encouragement of other people who surround you into executing the same task that you're working on, or maybe into executing other tasks, but as long as they follow the same fundamentals that you as the leader or as the person in question you're believing into. So that's leadership. Let's talk about management. Now, management is for the things, not for people. You manage things, you don't manage people. And I think this is where many people are confusing. They think like, if you have a finance manager, that means he's controlling or he's managing the people under his department. No. He's not supposed to manage people. He's supposed to lead people. All he manages is the finance. He's the money itself. And these things, I think on the technical term, maybe from accounts or something like that, they love to call it resource. So any material which can be used in helping the implementation of that task that the leader is executing, that we call it a resource. And I don't know where does this come from. I mean, where where somebody started to call people a resource, like human resource. How would you call people a human resource? I think this is wrong, and maybe it should stop. People can't be resources. People are just people. So let's continue. Now, making those definitions, I come to the conclusion that every person in this world is a leader. Starting from leading yourself, you have to be responsible for yourself. And actually, the difference now comes is that we have good leaders and bad leaders. But what's more popular is those people who are standing on the pulpits and we think they are the only leaders. They are the only leaders, and we tend to question them and stuff like that. But everybody is equally a leader. And likewise for management. Everybody on this universe is a manager of something. Starting from the household. When your parent gives you $1 or 1 Tanzanian shilling, I mean maybe let's say 100 or 1,000 Tanzanian shillings, you have to think, how are you going to use it? How are you going to spend that money? Or let's go to the wife, to the mother. How do you know that the food you're going to cook today is going to be enough for the members in the house? How do you know that you're not going to cook too much so that the rest is going to get ruined? You have to be a good manager in order to be to effectively manage those resources. So you can go on the very different levels, and all you will see is that everybody who has been handed over any resource is responsible in managing that resource to make sure that it fits, it serves well the purpose that the leader is pursuing. And this may include injecting more resources where resources are needed more, injecting less resources where less resources are needed more, checking that the resources are extended over the required time, and stuff like that. So how shall we conclude this topic? The conclusion is that everyone is a leader, everyone is a manager. Leadership and management, they are one but two different stuff. Leadership is for the people. You lead people. You can be a good or a bad leader with people. And management is for resources. You can be a good or a bad manager over your resources. So I don't know how I should say about this, but all I can say is that, please, the only way you can become either the good leader or the good manager, you have now to enrich your mind. You have to enrich every day your mind. Read the books, go to the seminars, make a better version of yourself, and this is how you can improve. You have to improve your character. Maybe this is how I should conclude. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you a wonderful time. Bye-bye.